So anyway, so I have to take my fucking laptop over to this place here in my my part of Los Angeles, and I take it over there, and the guy figures out what I need is I needed a new hard drive. So he puts the new fucking hard drive in. So this morning I go to, download all the information I get, all your questions and whatnot, and then make my list of subjects that I might talk about or might not talk about. So I go to open up this fucking, is it program? App? I don't know what the fuck you call it. It's one of the things where you can actually write, you can type some shit on and save it later in like a document. And I open the fucking thing up and immediately it's just steering me towards this SoundCloud shit. Yeah, we can save it and then you can have it on all your devices. Have you ever thought about how fucking dumb you are if you're using SoundCloud? I'm not even talking about its convenience. The fact that you're just giving access to your goddamn life to God knows who. You know what? And then you're going to sit around and, I can't believe somebody stole my identity. How'd that picture of my dick end up on the fucking internet? It's like, what are you doing? Don't give people access to your photos and your files and all of that shit because of some fucking little kid mentality. Well, what if I lose them? What, do you got a fucking balloon tied around your wrist? That's what you got the backup hard drive for. Put them on there once a week. Just fucking send a few over there. And then if something catastrophic happens to your laptop, you still have 98% of your shit and you got to survive. So, having said that, does anybody know how to disable that fucking goddamn cloud? Fucking weirdo, man. Fucking creep. That's just like some nerd. Like if you looked over and there's just some nerd standing in your window with his black framed glasses, trying to look at all your pictures, trying to see what the fuck you're writing about, trying to see what websites you're on. The whole thing is fucking creepy. You know what's really creeping me out? Is somebody recently is trying to suggest that the camera that's on your fucking laptop is on all the time, and potentially somebody could be watching you or it's recording you or whatever. Where the fuck are they going to save all of that? You know what I mean? Although it does kind of freak me out. I just had a bad week with the technology, everybody. I am so fucking anti all of this shit. And I know I just feel like as convenient as it makes your life, the amount of fucking money it costs and shit crashing, and then you got to upload it and then try to figure out how to use the new shit, and then just more and more trying to figure out, just spy on you. They're fucking spying on you for whatever reason, to try to sell you more toothpaste or to just make sure they got enough dirt on anybody who ever decides to run for political office for the rest of fucking time. Do you realize right now that the next president, right? Not the next president, some president in the future, say some president in 2040 or whatever, right now is probably getting videotaped jerking off to something, right? And they're going to have all of that fucking information. All the fucking creepy shit you did, all your weird little thoughts, all your insecurities, every fucking thing they need to know about you to keep you in line. I know, everybody thinks this is like paranoid thought. I know, it's not like this where J. Edgar, you know how much J. Edgar Hoover would fucking love the cloud? That fucking weirdo. He used to sit there going around Washington trying to just have dirt on everybody. So he could walk up and talk to you and just know shit about you. Who you were fucking, what you were doing, if you were secretly gay or anything. And he probably sat there talking to you, right? The weird look on his face. And you'd be like, this guy's just giving me the creeps. Why is this guy giving me the fucking creeps? It's because he knows about your life. And he's so excited about it. He's probably, his fucking dick is probably at half mast as he's talking to you. You know? J. Edgar Hoover. You know? And then they try to say that guy actually was, he used to walk around in a dress all day. You know, I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would want to walk around in a fucking dress. as a man or a woman. Not really the dress. I can understand the dress. That's like having a bathrobe that doesn't open, right? Wearing one of those fucking things, you know? Having on a smock. I just don't get the shoes. Why the fuck would you want to wear? I mean, they look good. They look good when the ladies prance around in them, but why the fuck would you? Why anybody in their right fucking mind would want to walk around in your tippy toes the whole goddamn day? Fucking up your back is beyond me. And you would think that if you're a dude, you're like, oh, good, I don't have to wear that shit. To go out of your way to actually wear it, you know, why would you do that to yourself? You know, if I gotta go ahead, dress up like a woman, but wear some flats, J. Edgar. You know, you're gonna fucking slip a disc. You're not exactly in shape. Internet privacy, everybody. Hey, Billy, thought you might like this. A private internet access provider took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling out 50 senators who voted to monitor the public's internet activity for financial gain. What? People care a lot about their public image, and I think this should be done more to combat assholes. Let me click on this thing. I can't click on it because I'm not on the internet. Hang on. Let me try and find this here. I got to see who the cunts are. Who are the cunts that's signed onto this? All right. We are the cunts. We don't give a shit. All right. Hello, world. These are the 50 senators who voted to monitor your internet activity. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't read them. They're too fucking small. All right. Oh, Jesus. What are they, all Republicans? Dude, the way they vote, man, because there was probably something else that was pro-conservative. That's the only reason why the fucking Democrats didn't. It's so fucking Hatfield and McCoy's. It's basically, it's all Republicans. Representative from Tennessee, Alexander. Representative from Wyoming, Barrasso. Blunt from Missouri. Boozman from Arkansas. Burr from North Carolina, you fucking piece of shit. Ruining the name. Caputo from West Virginia. Cassidy from Louisiana. Cochran from Mississippi. Collins from Maine. Corker from Tennessee. You know what? I'm gonna just retweet this fucking picture. Jesus Christ, Republicans, all Republicans. Cruz from Texas. Crapo from Idaho. Some hell of a names. Dames from Montana. Another one from Wyoming. Enzi from Wyoming. Ernst from Iowa. This is all of this shit. All Rubio from Florida. Perdue from Georgia. Portman from Ohio. This is all saying it's fake news. It's all fake news. You know, it's basically, who's kidding who? News, it's propaganda. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But what they want is their bullshit in your brain. That's what they want. So what they want to do is gradually take control of this shit. And they're going to make fake news. Basically, your opinion of what's going on, they're going to make that like illegal to do. And they're probably looking over at China going like, hey, China, how the fuck did you do this? And China's going like, all right, this is how we did it. So they gradually do that, much like the Nazis were looking at us going like, hey, how did you do that shit to the Native Americans? Because we want to do that to the Jews. Now we're going to do that probably looking. I bet the fucking higher up 1% cunts, the people who make profit off of war and everybody's misery, I bet they are envious of the internet in Red China the way, you or I is envious when somebody drives down the street by in a fucking Ferrari. I don't know. All right. Well, I'm good for that person that put that up there. That's fucking disgusting. I wonder what was linked to it, though. You know what I mean? Because it's never just, in defense of all of those fucking people, it's never just one thing, which is another bullshit thing. When they vote for something, shouldn't it just be one thing? Should we or should we not vote for solar power? It should just be about that. But then they tag all this other shit onto it. onto the bill, which is fucking, that's how they get everything through. And then it's always like, something completely fucked up. And then when that person goes to run for office, they voted for the bill because they're into solar power, but then the thing that the appendix that they put onto it, they can be like, this guy doesn't think kids should have ice cream. He voted against that. It's like, no, I voted for alternative sources of energy to bankrupt the terrorists.
So anyways, this guy sends me this email, and he says, Bill, the theys in this blog, when I say they are watching, are big business, not the Illuminati, but they are just as evil as any bank or secret society. They don't even need your signature. Listen to this shit. They don't even need your signature for these information-gathering traderware programs to monitor everything from where the device is to what your heart rate is. What is traderware? That's the question I had. Your digital camera may embed metadata into photographs with camera's serial number or your location. Your printer may be incorporating a secret code on every page it prints, which could be used to identify the printer and potentially the person who used it. Now the fucking morons, the sheep out there would be like, yeah, that's in case you threaten the president. They're just doing it for the good of all people. If Apple puts a particularly creepy patent, I guess Apple's applying for this. Is it recently applied for the use you can look forward to a day when your iPhone may record your voice, take a picture of your location, record your heartbeat, and send that information back to the mothership. This is traderware, devices that act behind your back and betray your privacy. Now, this is what the moron sheep are going to be to say. Well, if you ain't doing nothing wrong, what's the problem? That's the philosophy. That was the philosophy behind why they can record your phone calls now. If you ain't doing nothing, we're tasting you. Come on, frogs. If you ain't doing nothing wrong. Do you realize how fucking dumb that mindset is? So basically, as long as you do what the people in power tell you what to do, you won't have a problem. Do you understand how dangerous that is? Do you understand how fucking stupid it is to have that level of faith in the people who rule you? You know what I mean? You haven't noticed how much power can fuck somebody over? Like, for some reason, we only seem to focus on when celebrities get famous and then they wig out and start becoming these fucking mini tyrants. For some reason, people don't feel, they just have like this, because they wave the flag and they play those songs that make you choked up, that they never feel like that they'll have any sort of ulterior motive for this. This is the type of technology that allows a small group of people to take over the world. Something that sociopaths have been trying to do since the beginning of time. And they were never able to do it because at some point your army would be stretched too thin. Right? The Germans, the fucking Roman Empire, all that shit. At some point, the fucking Japanese, all of them. Everybody who's ever tried to fucking do it, at some point, it gets stretched too thin. So America, what we've done is we've done the we're putting this base here to protect you thing, that brilliant thing. That's how we got our world empire. So we just have a base. Then also we have these insane weapons where we can nuke everybody. So we were able to kind of do it that way. But the problem is when you really get into sociopathic thought and just like those people who are so into power that it makes their dick hard, is they want to know, they want to be able to see everybody, know what they're thinking, and know what they're doing at all times. Because not only are they psychos, but with that level of power becomes this unbelievable level of paranoia. Like those people with those houses sitting on the ridge looking down into the Rose Bowl. There's a fear. Like we sit there looking up at them, go, look, they got the fucking world. There is a fear of when you attain that level of wealth of losing all of it. And you begin on this quest to quiet your mind. You want to get a level of wealth and control in your life that you are guaranteed that it will never go away in your lifetime.
or your kid's lifetime or your kid's kids. So basically, everybody that you know and love will be okay, and you will be okay. You get into that psychotic fucking mindset. And you give those kinds of people this level of fucking technology, and you're going to have a problem. I think that's unbelievable that this shit is. So they have this website here, the EFF, Electronic Frontier Foundation, that is trying to fight these things being put into the tech, the cameras, the cell phones, and all that shit. Like the fact that there's a tracking device in your cell phone. Like, how come we didn't get to vote on that? How come we don't get to vote on that type of stuff? I don't want people knowing where the fuck I am at all goddamn times. Okay? And I don't need you to show me, oh, we caught this fucking child molester with that. So because of that, now everybody has to be like, give me a fucking break. They always have like, there's, a handful of good examples for that level of fucking control. And then there's a zillion bad ones. So I am 100% against this shit. And there's always been evil people in the fucking world. There's always going to be evil fucking people in the world. And when you have this kind of technology, you're gonna stop. They're gonna stop small evil, like individual, a fucking serial rapist, which you definitely want to stop. All right. But the price we're gonna pay is you're gonna allow a Stalin or a Hitler, Pol Pot, whoever the fuck you want to, you're going to, with that level of technology, someone like that could get in power and run the fucking world. So, I don't know. And I totally 100% believe that. You could roll all your fucking eyes all you want. I honestly believe that. And I also believe that the reason why there's so many of us right now and that the people at the top are not fucking concerned about it is because we're all expendable. And when the waters rise up, the temperatures goes up and everything, they're not going to be the ones who are drowning. You can guarantee that they're using our taxpayer money to build some sort of something to make sure that they're okay. And I think that their bailout plan, because they know they can't stop people from fucking because it feels too goddamn good, and dicks and pussies are readily available to anyone. It's like air, So I think what they're going to gradually do is phase us out with robots and automated shit, which is why I refuse to use it. Now, how fucking crazy do I sound right now? Has there been anything funny in the last fucking 5? This is shit that I truly believe. Corporations own like the DNA of a grizzly bear. That's why they don't give a fuck that they're cutting down its habitat. They're like, I will fucking grow another one in a petri dish. We're trying to take over everything. And then wipe out, I think they're going to try to wipe out the poor and the middle class. Keep a couple of us, like a small handful of us, the way that pandas are only in like zoos at this point or some shit. I don't know. Maybe I picked the wrong fucking animal, but that's the direction I think it's going. All right? There's your first crazy rant, which was based mainly in gut feelings and a couple of emails. But I truly believe that. Dear Bill, recently, I had to return some items at the mall. It was the day after Christmas, and I was with a girl I was dating. With the girl that I was dating. She wanted to return some shoes, so we went to the Journey store where the shoes were bought. When she got to the counter to return the shoes, the girl behind the counter asked her for her name, address, email, and phone number. Oh, my God. The amount of fucking people who actually give out that information. My girlfriend just gave the information over as soon as the girl asked for it. We were leaving the store. I remarked that I thought it was bullshit that she had to give away personal information to return a pair of shoes. She said it was not a big deal, but I didn't like it. All right. Why the fuck would you give somebody all that information? And just in case you're new to my podcast, you can say no. Can I go out to buy shit all the time. Can I have your phone number? No. I don't even try to make it nice. I just say no. And then they go, oh, okay. Why do you feel like you got to give them their information? You're trying to buy something. I'm sorry, I can't sell you this unless I get your information. Well, then go fuck yourself. I'll buy it somewhere else. I don't even need it anyways. So anyways, he goes, next we go to American Eagle. You guys hit all the hot spot, huh? Then we went to Cinnabon.
Next, we went to American Eagle, where I had to return a shirt that was a gift. There was a long line for returns. Why'd you return the shirt? Huh? Did it not fit, or was it ugly as hell, or was it both? As I was waiting in line, one of the employees comes up to me with a clipboard with a little form to fill out. Now, is anybody else kind of getting the prison camp vibe here? You know, you're standing in line to get processed, and there's a guy coming up. And what is your name, please? Your phone number? I stopped the employee and asked her why she needed this information, and she says that it was to verify my purchase. How fucking dumb are people? You going to verify my purchase? Well, here's the sales slips there, sweetheart. This verifies it. That's it. I don't know what to tell you. Why don't you and your clipboard, why don't you hold that clipboard between your little fucking beef curtains and take a fucking walk down the street? How about that, huh, sweetheart? Sir, there's no reason to use that type of language. Go fuck yourself. Huh? How about I fucking grab that ponytail and just, no, let's keep it clean this week, shall we, people? Anyway, he goes, before I could protest further, she said that I could just put my name on it. Oh, on the clipboard? When she walked away, I pulled out the gift receipt and said to my girlfriend, oh, here it is. Yeah, this is what verifies my purchase. Exactly. The clipboard employee wasn't as far away as I thought she was and heard me say, did I read that wrong? Yeah, heard me say this, and she began to explain further why I needed to give over the information. This is the part of the email I hate. He goes, I apologized and told her I realized it wasn't her and that it was just her company's policy that she was enforcing. She walked away again. I felt bad, so the next time I saw her, I apologized and said I realized that she was just doing her job, but she ignored me. She was probably pissed because it was the day after Christmas and I was causing her grief, but she could at least accept my apology, you bitch. I love how you go from being totally liberal and seeing somebody's fucking side of it to being, yeah, man up, you cunt. Anyway, I got up to the counter and there wasn't any further problems. The guy at the register just took my name and didn't ask me for anything. I felt as though I had a small victory against the big corporations. Then this week, I had to go back to the store to return a hat my girlfriend got. Did you guys not make Christmas lists? Or are all your relatives blind? This seems to be a lot of returning of gifts. This is hilarious. You're returning a hat that your girlfriend got you. Dude, how horrific was that hat? Can you please send me a picture of it if you took one before you returned it? Picture one of those a plaid Charlie Chaplin hat. I had the receipt, but again, the girl at the register asked me for my address and phone number. I said I didn't want to give that information to her. Immediately, panic sets in on her face, and she says that I have to. I said that I didn't have to the day after Christmas, and I wasn't going to now. Good for you. She calls over a coworker, and they both get defensive and hold to the idea that I have to give over my information in order to return a stupid hat, even though I had my receipt. I asked why, and they let me slide. Why had they let me slide on this before? And they maintained that I had to give them my name, address, and phone number. So what did I do in the face of corporate opposition? I caved and I gave it to them. You fucking pussy. Dude, the second you saw the panic on their face, you knew that they were going to lose. All right? He goes, I just don't get it, Bill. Why is a receipt not enough nowadays? It is enough. They say they need our personal information to verify a purchase. They're not, dude. They're not. All right? All of that shit, all those little save, you want to get one in our discount store, they're creating a file on you. They figure out what you want to buy, what they can market towards you, and then they take that information and they sell it to other fucking companies. Even though they say they're not going to, they sell your information. Your information gets up on the internet, and that's why there's all these creepy websites out there right now that have all this fucking information about you, about, how many siblings you have, your brothers and sisters' names. They all use that information to fucking, I'm telling you. Don't give them your information. You don't have to give them your information. And people out there who just have this fucking attitude towards these corporations, just sitting there going like, well, what do they got? You mean, as long as you're not doing anything wrong, I mean, what do I care if they know where I live? What do I care? Just fucking morons. I don't even. I've explained this shit till I'm blue in the face, and then I always get these emails from these people. They just. I don't know. I can't even. I said something the other day. You know, I was sitting there listening. I was listening to sports radio. You know, because I'm a deep thinker, right? And this new guy got on sports radio out here in Los Angeles, and you know, he does what most people do when they have nothing to say, which is they just go over the top arrogant. You know what I mean? Like he was talking about how he wanted to get some sort of sports coach or personality on the show, but he doubted he could get him as a guest because the guest hated him. And he goes, you know, because I disagreed with him on some. He was talking to a coach, and he was actually disagreeing with the fucking coach. He's disagreeing with the guy. And he goes, you know what the problem is? You know, he goes like, I'm just like such a good debater. I actually end up like convincing myself of my own opinion. He actually said that over the airwaves. And I just sort of muttered to myself that the confidence of morons is staggering. You know what I mean? Morons think they know everything. That's what makes them fucking morons. And like the emails I get with people who don't question this shit, which is, I don't know, like last week when I went off on my little fucking rant there, just some of the fucking emails I get. It's like people are sending me shit that kind of is backing up what I'm saying and then telling me that I sound like I have tinfoil on my fucking head, which obviously I am out of my fucking mind on some level, but I'm not out of my mind when I don't trust corporations, and I don't trust them when they say we're not going to do anything with this information. The other day I was in CVS and I go to buy something, and the lady asked me, did I have a save card? And I said no. She said, do you want one? And I said no. And she goes, well, that's okay. And she swiped the fucking thing anyways. And I was like, lady, what did I just say to you? Now, see, if I use my credit card, they'd have my name and then to match up to that fucking number and what the hell I just bought and just a little bit more information about me. And my question to all you people who have this faith in these corporations, why does that person do that? Why are they so hell-bent on trying to make that corporation less money in that moment? They give me this card. You know, like everybody has those cards, so you're not saving any fucking money. It's a big fucking shell game to make it seem, ooh, look, you're saving money. What they're really doing, they're like, hey, look at this hand over here, as you're giving them all your personal fucking information that they can then use to at the very least sell to other corporations to increase junk mail and also to limit your fucking level of privacy. The fact that they can put all that shit up in the goddamn internet. People have been sending me these random websites where they have like your name and your address, where you fucking live and all this type of shit. It's like, how do you think that they get all that information? Do you think there's somebody sitting there with a phone book and just typing all of this shit in? I don't know. I don't fucking know. What's what kills me. If some fucking random creepy guy, you know, you're standing there waiting for the subway, came up to you, asked you what your name, your phone number, and your address was, would you give it to him? No. But for some reason, you're inside of a fucking store, and there's socks and sweaters, and somebody has a name tag. Now, all of a sudden, you give them total fucking trust. You're out of your mind. So, sir, don't cave in. All right? All you get, just say that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I want to speak to the manager. What they're doing, it's not legal yet. It's not legal yet, but I can guarantee you there's somebody lobbying for it that in Washington. There's some sort of fucking high-powered lobbying group, I swear to God, is probably lobbying that from here on out, we need to have a law that if you're going to return a hat, you have to give us your name, your address, and your social security number, just so there's not another 9/11. Could guarantee it. So, yeah, you don't have to. That's actually one of the highlights of my day. What I do now is when they say, do you have our little Savey Save card? And I say, no, I don't. Would you like one? No, I don't. I then say, and please don't swipe another one. You know? And then I try to pay with cash. I love cash. Cash is fucking anonymous. All you guys out there who are sitting there watching these commercials where they make it look like credit cards are so fucking easy, you're idiots. You're buying into exactly what they want you to buy into, which is a cashless society, so they can keep track of where you are at all fucking times and every last fucking dime that you make, so they can get their greedy little fucking hands on it. You're out of your mind, and you're giving up an unbelievable amount of fucking privacy by creating a paper trail everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, what you're doing, where you're at, you know? And the sea of morons who are going to sit there and go, well, if you ain't doing anything wrong. I mean, I guess maybe I'm a paranoid psycho. You look at all these fucking idiots who do reality TVs and they let cameras come into their house and they don't seem to care about it. Maybe the average jackass doesn't give a shit. But, sir, for the love of God, you know, in the end he says, I'm not crying conspiracy. It's very plain to see what they're doing. It's not malicious or evil. Yes, it is. It is malicious, and it is evil, and it is a conspiracy. They're conspiring to get everybody's information, find out what they buy, and they're lying to you saying that they're not going to share the information. It's everything that you're saying it's not. It is. All right? And that's it. That's 2 weeks in a row I'm on the soapbox. See, people, don't you like it better when I talk about sports? See of the week. Bill, you often talk about conspiracies. Yes, I do. This may or may not fall into that category, but it definitely pisses me off. I love this guy already. I don't know if this is a conspiracy, but it fucking pisses me off. Eyeball to eyeball with you so far, buddy. All right, I get my cable and internet service bundled together from Time Warner. Last month with my bill, I got an insert stating that they were modifying their privacy policy. Basically, it states Time Warner reserves the right to distribute my internet content with or without my consent. From my understanding, this could mean anything from the searches I requested from Google to the websites I have been to. What rights do we have in this country anymore? Just venting. All right, dude. Yeah, absolutely. Basically, what they've been doing the entire fucking time since the beginning of the internet is now becoming legal. So for all you people out there who always thought like I love when you watch like those talk shows and they talk about sexting, like your text messaging, you know, I want to fuck you from behind, whatever. Why that's sexy, I have no idea. You know, do you think their thumbs tremble? But whatever, I'm not going to judge. Or like they talk about Skype sex and they'll be like, why do these people do this? Why would somebody who would never, and they always bring a psychologist on, right? And they always have a beard, so you know that they majored in psychology, right? And then they always say the same shit. And they'll be just like, well, it's the anonymity of it. They feel anonymous. And in that situation, they do things that they normally wouldn't done. Well, first of all, people, it's not anonymous, you dumb fucks. It isn't. They're just saying it's anonymous. They just said it. Well, you don't think that they're building a file on you? It's all these fucking morons who've lived a life of the straight and narrow, get on Skype, and they stick their junk right in the camera. You're an idiot. You're done. You're already done because they're building robots right now to fucking replace all of us. And what did you... But they're going to keep some of us because somebody's got to oil their fucking robot joints. And what did you do? You stuck your dick in the camera. You're done. You're processed. It's over. It's over. You got to take the driver's test. I won't even study. You're fucking finished. You're going to get processed just like those people in that fucking movie with that guy who just died. I can never remember the name. What's the name of it? Patrick Swayze was in it. Blood Force Thunder. New America. What the fuck was it called? Here come the Russians. Piss in the radiator. All that hatred's gonna eat you up. Keeps me warm. Remember that? Ed Bagley Jr. was in it? No, he wasn't. The fucking, the kid who was in Soul Man was in it. And he shot his friend. Avenge me! Come on. Red Dawn! Jesus Christ, Brian, you're a fucking director. Do you get that, man? When you get like you had that panic, that brain panic?
Yeah, I just got it.
Okay, you just got it? Okay, good. I thought it was only me. Yeah, absolutely. Know this, people. If you want to watch porn, like porn, the porn industry is going through what the music industry is going through right now, where all of a sudden the shit just became free. All right? So now everybody's fucking whacking off on the internet thinking nobody's watching what you're fucking rubbing your shit out to. They're all watching, and they're building a fucking file. All right? You think already, haven't you noticed why the presidents keep getting worse and worse, and they keep fucking getting on their knees and blowing the banks more and more? It's because of the internet. All they got to do is break out their internet file and show them some of the shit that they know that they jerked off to, and it's over. It's fucking over. You got to do everything that they're going to say or they're going to expose you. They don't even need to take you to Dallas anymore. That's old school. That's why Kennedy got shot in the head. If there was an internet, he'd still be walking around talking right now, cutting a ribbon at his fucking library, shitting his pants. He would have gave the eulogy at Fathead Ted's fucking funeral. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Okay, if you want to jerk off to something freaky, I would say go to a porn store and just deal with the fact that the guy behind the counter is going to know what you got. Pay cash and walk away. It's a done deal. But if you're going to go on the internet and do some of the shit that you're doing, all you can hope now is that you're going to get lost in the shuffle. Actually, you can continue to do what you're doing as long as you never try to effectively effect change. You know what I mean? That's when they break out your internet file. Other than that, it just goes on a fucking database. But the second you start a movement going, you know what, dude? I'm sick of paying $25 for my first bag when I get on a plane. If you get enough people behind you, United will now go to Time Warner and be like, yeah, Russell Johnson. Yeah, open his file. What does he jerk? What's the most fucked up thing he's jerked off to? That is the end of the movement. Because then Fox News will get it, and they'll just be, it turns out Russell Johnson jerked off to a tranny and a midget last week. This is the guy who's going to lead us? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm doing Glenn Beck. I don't. That fucking guy. Jesus Christ. I respect those guys because they're in show business. I just wish, maybe they can't admit that they're in show business. It's like wrestling. For the longest time, they couldn't say that it was fake. But now, at some point, come on, just say, look, we're doing fake news. We know who's going to win in the end of this shit. Oh, no, it's all horrible. All right, how much time are we up to here?
Anyways, here's something that somebody sent me. They're working on this microchip that will save your memory. Scientists set to implant device to preserve experiences into brains. A group of U.S. researchers believe that a microchip that will help create memories in damaged brains could be implemented into human volunteers in the next 2 years. The scientists from the University of Southern California, Wake Forest University, and others have been looking into the hippocampus, the part of the brain that is vital in forming long-term memories for around a decade. Okay, they've been doing this. So this is their way in. So these wonderful researchers at USC and Wake Forest, as always, their hearts are in the right place. But what kills me is it's like as they're creating this thing, I always wonder, do they sit around when they create something like this? And did they ever go, good Lord, what if this falls into the wrong hands? What if somebody like Dick Cheney or Donald Rumsfeld or any one of those other guys that looks like they don't even have a fucking heartbeat, what if it falls into their hands? What are they going to do with this shit? I'm telling you. We're all going to be, I might not be microchipped in my lifetime, but I will tell you this. At some point in my lifetime, and I figure they're going to do it through some sort of, they're going to scare the fuck out of people that their babies are going to get kidnapped. All right? And that what they're going to do is eventually they're going to pass a law that all babies born from this day on, for their own safety and their own protection, will be microchipped. All right? It's going to creep out a guy like me who isn't microchipped, but I'm going to die off. And then what's going to happen is just people from day one are going to have a microchip in them, and they're not going to question it. And occasionally, somebody will question it, and then they'll just be like, what are you, a fucking conspiracy theorist? Do you realize that if every human being was microchipped, do you realize the ability to revolt, how limited it is? If you ever were to be suddenly under an oppressive power, if everybody was microchipped, you know, and this is what kills me, is I know most of you are rolling your eyes going, this sounds like crazy talk. You know why? Because you would never do something like that. You know,